Alright guys, welcome. I am Leviatras. I'm going to be playing BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle online, trying to get a few more wins. I played it for the first time last night for about an hour and a half, got beat pretty badly when I went online, but ever since I stopped playing it, I've been kind of getting this itch to play it, tried to do a little bit better, so I'm going to be coming back into it. I guess it's true you can't escape your fate. So let's go ahead and jump into it, play some online matches. First thing though, I'm gonna go ahead. Now I haven't looked into. Well, let me see how to switch the characters that I have. Let's see. Okay, entry. Don't want to do that. I don't want to get too serious yet. Let's see if it'll let us switch out what characters we use. Let's see. So favorite, you hit that. Oh, okay, there we go. So character select. So I haven't played the game since yesterday. I haven't gotten any more experience with it. I haven't looked up any guides or like strategies or anything like that. The only thing I've looked into was I was playing with Adachi and Kanji yesterday, and I felt like Adachi was definitely pretty good, but I felt like Kanji wasn't doing super great, so I just wanted to look at a tier list, see kind of like the ranking of characters overall. And the first guide I looked at like listed every character by like competitive skill rating, and the very last place, number 40 on the list, was Kanji. So other lists, he wasn't as low, but you know, I don't think that was something that was in my favor. So playing today, it looks like I was kind of surprised Yosuke was like pretty high up on some lists, but so was you. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do Adachi because I felt like that went pretty well the first time. But let's go ahead and look at the colors while we're here. So color select, you press Y. Alright, got a few color options. Huh, it's jumped from 8 to 14, but alright. Let's see. So we got quite a few options. I'm kind of liking this one, number 19. So let's go with that. And then let's go with you for the other character. To be honest, they may play like exactly the same. I haven't played as you before, so I don't know how he plays, but considering his persona, Izanagi looks pretty similar to Adachi's. It might basically just be a reskin of Adachi, but either way, we'll give it a spin. I kind of want to go with this one because they look like Velvet Room attendants, so I'm also liking this one though, number 15. Let's go ahead, keep it thematic, play as the Velvet Room color scheme. And then, yeah, the rest of the stuff we can leave that automatic. So let's go ahead, look around, try to find a match with some. Oh, this guy's dressed as Teddy, so let's go ahead. Okay, failed to connect. Let's see who else is available. I'm still surprised that there's just like a giant tank with a skull on it that you can play as and actually fight with him. See if the gets. Okay, failed to connect. We'll find someone eventually. Oh, okay, it looks like their match just ended. Maybe they'll be up for one. Alright, we connected, so that's a good start. Oh, I don't know if they're like plugged into the platform or if we're just like I think we're waiting for someone to just... Okay. Alright, so we got an opponent set up now. I'm still a little bit nervous to see what their victory count is, because it might just be like way more than us, you know. I have a feeling it might be a little bit higher than 2, in which case we're going to be in a bit of danger, but you know, we can't just wait around all day looking for someone who has fewer wins than us before we accept a challenge. Just gotta jump into it, grind it out, get some experience playing, and yeah. Okay, they got 19 wins. That's a decent amount, but compared to the people I was playing last night, not as high as like some of the people I saw. They do seem to have like not super common characters, or that guy seems pretty common, but all right, there we go. Oh, dang it. Yeah, Combos like that, they tend to do quite a bit of damage. Oh, okay. That went well. Oh, dang it. Oh, okay. Oh, man. Ooh, okay. Alright. I think I'm winning slightly when it comes to total health. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, that's not good. There we go. Uh-oh. Ooh, yeah, that's not good. Alright, that's not good either. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna win this one, are we? Oh, jeez. Oh my god. Yeah. As if it wasn't already over. Alright, I was doing somewhat decent for a little bit. I'm still not sure how they do this combos where they just do, like, the clash, stuff like that. So anytime that happens, I'm just kind of like, just gotta wait it out. Alright, yeah, let's go ahead and do a rematch. See if we can get a win for once.
Get ready. Get ready.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I should do differently this time, but honestly, I don't feel like I learned a lot. I was like, oh, I know what to do. Just kind of have to hope that they don't do the clash against me, and it's kind of all I can do, all I can think of to do at the moment. Yes, like, they seem to get that attack, that combo out pretty often. And it seems like it's a one-hit thing that, like, they land one hit and that starts it up. Oh, okay, that did it. It seems like it happens when I press B, but I'm not sure how to, like, consistently trigger it. Also, if there's any kind of, like, meter that it's dependent on to trigger. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, dang it. Oh, okay. There we go. Oh, man. Oh, okay. Oh, dang it. Alright, I blocked it. That's a good sign. Oh, alright. Up to 3 wins now. I mean, 3 wins total. That's the first one of the night. But that's definitely progress.
Stop pretending you know me just because we spent a little time together.
Okay, yeah. I want to do best 2 out of 3, see if we can come out on top overall. So, yeah, let's do Adachi first as usual. This time I'm going to try to remember to swap them out so Adachi doesn't lose his entire health bar, and then send in you with, like, you know, full health when he could have been recovering.
Sure, I've got to. Can't escape from crossing fate. Fight! Get out here! How's that? You ready? Strike! You ready? You ready?
Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm doing pretty well this time. Seems like hitting B to do those... Oh. Basically what they're doing to me now. That seems to be a pretty efficient way to take out their health. Oh, dang it, I thought they were going to jump in from the other side. Oh, dang it. Ah, jeez.
Not yet. You little tired of blocking. Get some. Pay attention.
All right, there we go. Oh, okay. I think Adachi's done for. Let's see if we can finish this out. Oh. Oh my god. Nope. Okay. Not quite. Alright, so we're... It's 1-2 so far. Can we do a rematch? Another one?
Dance and revel in the world's demise.
Let's see. Okay, I guess not. Alright, we got one win at least, so could be worse. Let's go ahead and play against this person. Connecting. Okay, I'm ready. Alright. Anytime I see someone with, like, not just, like, the default, like, costumes and everything like that, I get a little nervous because I'm like, okay, they seem to... They know how to navigate menus. I'm in danger. But hopefully we'll do alright. You know, that last one I mean, they start off with, like, 19 wins, which is kind of high, but it seemed like something that's, like, manageable. And we did pull out one win and got pretty close on the second. So, you know, we might have a chance. You just have to see. Alright. Ooh, yeah. We're kind of done for. They have 139 wins. Although I do get to be on the left side of the screen this time, so hopefully that has some kind of slight favor for me.
Didn't you ever... Can't escape from crossing fate. Fight! You still got it? Well, easy. Emerald. Easy. Counter. How's that? Impressive blocking. Well, next right. Well, counter.
Alright.
How's that? Counter. You ready? Next right. Oh, you little impressive blocking. Get some. You ready?
Right, they swapped out characters, but I'm doing a pretty good amount of damage against them so far.
Now you've done it. Oh, please.
Okay.
Boring.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think we got this one. Oh, okay. I mean, Adachi's done for, but we still got you with full health, so should have a shot at this. Oh, okay. Maybe he spoke too soon. Am I getting hustled? Oh, wait. There we go. Alright. I was like, they have so many wins, so they just, like, let me win, like, the first, you know, 80% of their health, and then the last part, they're like, alright, now I'm gonna take the gloves off. Really go unleashed on me. Alright. Now, I feel like this is the real match to see. Were they just kind of, like, letting me win the first time, and now they're gonna go off on me? Or was I actually holding my own for a chance? For a change. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think I was getting hustled that first match that I won. Alright, we managed to block all of that, so that's good. Oh, okay. I mean, we're closer than I expected to be, based on the first, like, 30 seconds of this match.
attention. Easy, easy. Shut it. Screw
Oh, dang it. Ooh, okay.
You like that? Tired of blocking? Oh, come now. Please.
Come on. There we go. It's good. Oh, no. Ooh, boy.
How's that?
Come on. Ooh, alright. Got another win when both of our characters were alive.
Stop pretending you know me just because we spent a
Okay, I'm up for another rematch if they are.
This is why I can't stand you hope.
Alright. Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't expect to win 2 matches in a row against someone with that many wins already. So, you know, doing pretty decent so far. Definitely a lot better than it was last night. I don't know how much of it just having you on my team instead of Kanji is responsible for that, or if I'm actually getting better, but, you know, I feel like I'm definitely going in the right direction. And the game seems to have frozen, so I'm going to go ahead, close it out, but, oops, let me see. Okay. I accidentally almost closed OBS, but looks like it's still running. Hopefully we are still streaming. Let me start up BlazBlue again. So, okay, let's see. There we go. Starting off, going through the menu.
BlazBlue.
So yeah, I mean, like I said this last night, for anyone that's new, I am not very experienced with like Eastern fighting games. Like I've played my experience has mostly been with games like Mortal Kombat, Injustice, the NetherRealm Studios fighting games. All of these, the ones that are like Guilty Gear, BlazBlue, that type of stuff, I'm like not familiar with. Like I've never really played them before, like period. So this is a bit of a new experience for me, but it's been surprisingly exciting. Like coming into it, I was like, oh, it's gonna be too complex. Like I'm not gonna really invest my time into it. But after playing last night, I was like, okay, this is more fun than I was expecting. So I'm glad to be back. Let's see if there's any lobbies. Looks like they're available. Okay, failed to connect. Let's see. Okay, that tank just like flew across the room. Is anyone else available? Not that I can see. This failed to connect. I mean, maybe they'll get on the platform and battle us if we start it up. Okay, looks like they're walking away from it. We're just staying really close by, but at the moment, not interacting with it. Alright, still connecting. You know, this gives me time to hone in, focus on my strategy, plan this out. Alright. Opening combo, mash X. Follow it up with mashing X. And then, if I get comboed, get on the ropes, like, no need to make a comeback, mash X. Alright. I think I got my game plan figured out. Let's see what happens when we get into it. Well, while it's doing that, I forgot I accidentally closed my chat. Let me open that up in OBS. There we go. Alright. So connecting. Let's see if anyone will take us up. I mean, they probably see that I have a total of 4 wins now. So, I mean, I won't want to fight me either. Yeah, I feel like I'm very satirically being a little arrogant for a bit, but I feel like that's enough. The next, like, 5 matches in a row is just going to be me getting demolished and not even, like, having a chance at winning. But, you know, we're not going to back down. We're going to grind it out, get some experience with it, try to get better. That's all you can really hope for. Alright, if this, like, little screw goes through the whole bar again one more time, then we're going to go ahead, dip out of this, try finding another platform. And, yep, there it is. So, how do I actually disconnect from this? Let's see. Yeah, actually don't know how to stop connecting to it. Is it... Okay, let's do leave lobby. Okay, that worked. So let's go ahead, look around, see if anyone else is up for it. Okay, I think that guy is ready. Okay, I don't know what's going on. It's not prompting me to join anymore. Let's go ahead and leave the lobby, like, completely. And then we will reconnect and try again. So let's go to the online lobby, casual newbie. I think that describes us pretty well. No, I think if I start hitting like 10 wins, then I'll move up to the casual lobby 1 instead of the newbie 1. But, you know, I don't want to get too ambitious, getting a whole 10 wins. So we'll just stay in the newbie 1, get a bit more comfortable with the controls, the flow of combat. Alright, so we're back in. Let's go ahead. Alright, this guy looks ready to go. Okay, failed to connect. Let's see if we can go against this guy. Failed to connect. What about you? Alright, there we go. I'm still not sure why it fails to connect with so many players, but, you know, I'm just gonna fight who I can. If we can't connect, then just move on. But yeah, I mean, I am curious about, like, since there's, like, the Persona series in this and Ruby, what all of the different series that characters are from in the Cross Tag Battle game. Like, I'm a bit interested to dig into that, see if a lot of the characters come from other fighting games, or if it's just kind of like anime series, something that hasn't had a game before, and be able to recognize more of these characters. Okay, failed to connect again. Let's go ahead, see who else is available. I think we already tried this, but let's give it another shot. Okay, failed to connect. Let's see. I know this guy failed to connect. Yep. So, oh, can we fight this tank guy? Alright, cool. I mean, I feel like they don't give that tank avatar out to people that are just, like, walked in fresh off the street, so I feel like we're probably in danger, but I'm kind of curious to see, like, a high skill level player, like, demolish me again, just see all the crazy combos they pull off. So hopefully it actually connects this time, and we can get started. Anyone who's watching, if you have a favorite character, feel free to let me know. I might check them out. So far, I'm going to stick with Persona characters, because that's kind of like... It's like, I don't know how any of them, like, play. So to me, it's like, I don't have any... Like, any character seems as good as any other character. So might as well go with characters I recognize. And as far as playing them, like, they play pretty quickly, like their speed when they're fighting. So I definitely prefer that. Like, any character that has, like, slow but strong attacks, I usually get destroyed before I can really, like, get familiar with them, land any hits. Oh, hey, Moy, how's it going? Or, is it Mai? By the way, glad to see you. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't, in case you missed it, I'm about to get demolished by some more BlazBlue fighters online. Okay, Moy, that's what I thought. But yeah, I played this game for about an hour and a half last night, and then continuing to continue playing today, and doing better so far. Partially because I'm playing with you, Narukami, instead of Kanji. So it's doing a little bit better. I'm not sure how much my actual, like, skill getting better at the game is at play here. Oh, I don't have a fight stick. That would definitely be cool, but I'm not too invested in it yet. I don't want to drop that kind of cash on it. I'm just using my Series X controller, so... I feel like, I mean, I don't have any other consoles, or I have a Switch, but the Pro controller is pretty similar to the Series X controller. And, you know, I've got a lot of experience with it, feel pretty comfortable with this controller, so I don't think I can blame lack of experience with the controller for any of my losses today. But I think I'm definitely doing better than if I was using the keyboard for a fighting game. So I haven't really heard of BlazBlue before, but I haven't really heard of this style of fighting game in general. So I'm curious, is BlazBlue like one of the most popular ones, or is it kind of like, you know, not necessarily like this is the one to play, or if it's just kind of like in the crowd? But either way, I've been enjoying it, you know, surprisingly so, more than I expected. Like generally when I just kind of try out the latest release on Game Pass, I don't come back to it the next day, especially if I haven't heard of it before. Guilty Gear is similar. Okay, I saw this one video that's kind of like how to get into fighting games, and it seemed like Guilty Gear Strive is kind of like one of the most like active competitive scenes in fighting games. So it seems like if you really want to like invest time into this and like make it a new like part of your life, the impression I got is that Guilty Gear is the way to go, and like, it does look pretty cool. I played it a little bit, and I didn't really know what I was doing, but, I mean, animations look good. Definitely sounds like there's a lot of depth and layers to the combat. But this game is still not connecting, so I'm going to go ahead and... yeah, let's leave the lobby again, and then give it another shot. And hopefully this time it actually works. I mean, we've got 53 out of 64 players in the lobby, so hopefully it's not too long before we can find a working match. Now I'm getting a little bit of an itch to get beat pretty brutally again. But, you know, that's kind of how you learn. Saw it for Evo, it has a huge following. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, like, I've never really followed the competitive fighting scene. Like, I like playing these fighting games every once in a while, but, you know, generally what happens is I get into it, I enjoy playing it, and I kind of become better than my friends at it, and so then it's like, oh, okay, it's not really fun for them to play against me now, and then that's it, it falls off. Like, that's the usual cycle it goes through. But yeah, I'm curious, like, I know there's definitely like a big following, people get very invested in it, about like counting frames, knowing like how much damage each of these attacks do, and like all the different terminology and like reading opponents that you have to do for the competitive scene. But I've never made it that far. I don't have a history of I don't have any tournament titles on my name, and I don't expect to. I don't have that kind of time to invest into becoming that good at it, but props to the people who do. It's definitely quite a sight to behold. For now, I'll feel pretty accomplished if I get 10 wins total at some point in BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. Hey, you're the Persona guy. This isn't Persona. You can't play this. Yeah. I mean, my approach is basically like, I'm going to play Persona in real time, I'm going to try out the latest Game Pass releases and give my first impressions, and this was one that I was like, oh, I kind of felt like I was branching out a little bit, and then Persona characters show up, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not as far from home as I thought, but definitely enjoying it. Nice to see some familiar faces in the game. I mean, when you can play a fighting game and play as Chie, actually practicing her martial arts skills, I'm like, alright, this is a... No matter what anything else the game has, I'm like, alright, I'm willing to play a few matches of it. Speed dating is a great concept, great video series. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, I want, like, when it comes to YouTube content, it kind of seems like you either need to have, like, really good quality videos, like a long history of it where people, like, catch on to and they're like, oh, this is good, and this guy's, like, actually around for a while. But alternatively, if I'm pretty new to it, so I'm definitely wanting to build up to that, to having, like, a consistent quality that I can become reliable and known for. But in the meantime, to kind of like get people to latch on to it and click on my videos, you kind of need a hook, especially when it says like, here's like someone's first impressions that they made, and then it's like 2 views and like 7 subscribers, and it's like, okay, why should I trust that guy? But I think having a hook gets people clicking, be able to start building up an audience and getting some momentum from the beginning. And so I was actually asking ChatGPT about different ideas for, I was going to call it Game Pass Give It a Goes, just because that's kind of like a bit of a name that is pretty self-explanatory of what the series was, and also having a little bit of alliteration in it. So I was like, all right, that's a pretty good start. But I was asking ChatGPT for other name ideas, and one of them just kind of like out of the blue was Game Pass Speed Dating. I was like, okay, that sounds weird, but I was like, okay, you could do it and like kind of talk about the game as like, it is kind of like speed dating because I'm like trying it out, seeing how it goes, and then giving my first impressions. And I was like, okay, I feel like there's potential to like build a theme on this, and also like have some jokes about that. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll give this a shot. And it's definitely not something I would have thought of naturally to be like, yeah, let's make it speed dating. But I was like, once I heard it, I was like, all right, that might actually work. So I'll keep going with the series, see what happens with it. All right, this isn't connecting. It might be because I left the lobby one time. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and leave the lobby again, try to make like a clean disconnect from it. And I'm going to go ahead and close the game and then start it up again. And hopefully that fixes it. Otherwise, we may just have to play versus against AIs for a bit. Which, I'm still not like, oh, I've mastered playing against the AI. So still have a lot to learn. You can get some practice in that way. But I think no matter how good you are or how long you play, if you only play against AI opponents and you don't play against actual people, I think you're going to be a bit stunted in how much you can grow. Let's go ahead, go online, connect to the network, and hopefully this fixes the issues I was having. And let's go to the lobby. Alright. Getting connected, which is a pretty good step to do. Seems pretty important to playing online against other people. Yeah, I'm always a little nervous when they have like a newbie server, because ideally it's like, oh, this sounds good that I'll be able to play against people that are also new. But at the same time, it just feels like a big invite for anyone that just wants to get some easy wins. Like, people make Smurf accounts, and this is basically just saying like, hey, you don't even need to make a new account. Just jump on in here, get some wins in against people that don't know any better. But, I definitely don't know the limit, or haven't seen like high skill level players that have like platinum tier or like whatever the high tiers are called. So I can't really say like, oh man, this guy's being a Smurf. He's like definitely like gold tier and playing against the newbie server. I've been holding my own surprisingly well, like a little bit better than I was expecting I could. And I feel like I might just be seeing like a silver player and be like, oh, this guy's a Smurf. And then it's like, no, that's a silver player. And then I see platinum and it's like, okay, yeah, like won't even be able to touch them. But either way, I mean, I've been enjoying playing it. I feel like if you are like good at the game and you come in playing against people that aren't good at it, then you're just kind of like underserving yourself, not giving yourself the opportunity to have a balanced challenge and grow, become better at the game. But, to each their own. Alright, still connecting. I'm going to let it attempt to connect for a little bit longer. Hopefully, actually makes a connection. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and exit out, play against the AI a bit. I might play the story mode, since there's a Persona-like storyline that definitely sounds more appealing than playing BlazBlue. That storyline, which feels like there's a lot of references that if you like are familiar with the series, then it's like, oh, like I really like, you would just get a lot more out of it than I was seeing just like random characters. And agreed on the underserving yourself, yeah. I mean, when I've been doing Game Pass speed dating, I've been a little tempted that like sometimes the game feels too easy and it's a little bit boring. So I'm like, maybe I should play on like hard mode instead of like the standard default difficulty. And I did that with Ghostwire Tokyo, and I was like, okay, I'm like, it is a little bit more of a challenge, but at the same time, like I haven't played the game on normal, so I don't know how it would actually go. But I felt like the enemies were kind of like bullet sponges that was just taking a lot more hits than it felt like it should. And so in that case, I'm kind of like, I don't want to play on hard, and then in my first impressions complain about it taking too long to kill enemies because it takes too many hits when I'm playing on hard mode, and that's not the standard experience people would be playing on. Okay, fail to connect. Let's go ahead. I'm going to see if I can connect to one more person. If it doesn't work out, then we'll go to play some AI matches. Alright, this one's connecting. Let's give it a shot. So, back to what I was saying. You know, if I play on hard, and I'm like, I didn't really have a great experience, but it's a different experience than if I play on standard, which is what most people are going to be playing on, then I think that's kind of unfair to the game. So, anytime I'm playing, start out a new game for Game Pass speed dating, I'm going to play on like normal difficulty, wherever like the default one is. Fortunately, a lot of difficulty settings will tell you like which one's like the intended experience. So I'll just go with that one and just be able try to make it to where it's more like the experience I had is comparable and similar to the experience that they would have playing through it. And, you know, I think that's going to give viewers the most value out of it, rather than like reviewing and playing it on like professional difficulty, the highest one, and being like, oh, this game's like really tough, and then other people seeing that and be like, oh, it's probably not for me then, when they would play on standard and have a more balanced experience than trying to go in and play on the highest difficulty from the get-go. But yeah, I mean, either way, like, there's definitely some Game Pass games that I'm like, I wouldn't have tried this otherwise, but with Game Pass speed dating, I feel like the goal... Oh, awesome. Okay, we actually connected. My dream, or I guess not to be that ambitious, but like, I think ideally people would be able to look at Game Pass speed dating and like just through... Okay, we lost the connection. All right. Wait, it looks like we're still connected. So let's say ready for battle. This guy said hi. How do we... Can we chat with him? All right, communication is Y. Oh, I guess you have to do free... Oh, wait, keyboard chat. Say hello. Did it actually say that? Okay, I can't tell if it actually went through. But anyway. So it would be nice to eventually get to a point where people see the Game Pass speed dating series, and I have it, every episode gets added to a playlist, so it's all compiled into one area. Because I know if as you scroll through my content, it'll be like, here's like 3 videos in a row of Persona 4 Golden real-time playthrough, and they'll be like, here's a Game Pass speed dating, and then like 2 more episodes of Persona 4 Golden real-time playthrough, and then another Game Pass speed dating. So it's all kind of like jumbled together based on release date. Let me see. Pressing A doesn't seem to be doing anything. Yeah, I'm not sure what else I can do other than hit A. Alright, let's go ahead. Okay, they left. So, I think we've given enough shots, tried it enough times to get a match going. Let's go ahead and play against the AI. Let's do versus mode. I want to play on higher than normal difficulty, which is what I was playing on before. Alright, let's go ahead and get Adachi and you. Yeah. And then, is there a random? Okay, perfect. Yeah, let's do 2 random characters. Oh wait, let me get to settings first. Time limit 180, pause menu instant, reset victory count, return. Okay. What about this? Okay, so I don't see how to set difficulty, but let's go ahead and set the stage. Let's do convenience store, and then let's do another Persona 4 song. Let's do Shadow World. Alright, let's do Adachi first, and then Yu Narukami second. So, continuing about the Game Pass speed dating, okay, classic song. But, yeah, it'd be nice to have the playlist and be able to just look through all of them and be able to get the first impressions of, like, the 20, like, most recent releases on Game Pass. Rather than, like, looking through and be like, oh, did they have this game? It's like, no, it's a recent release, but they don't have it. So, all to say, I've been playing more games than I usually would, but I'm hoping that with that full coverage, you know, I'm not missing anyone that comes looking for a game that was released recently and I didn't cover it for whatever reason. Okay, that's a pretty good counter. But yeah, you know, that's definitely it's not something you can do in a day. That's something that's more of, rather than like you can't just be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this and then I'll be done. It's like, no, this is a habit that you build, and if you're consistent with it, then like you'll get there. But for now, I mean, starting off, it's like I can grind it out a bit, go like try to do the latest games, and then work through the backlog. But still, it's not something that you can get done like a week. Alright, so did pretty well. I only lost like a third or a quarter of one character's health bar, so it seems pretty easy. But, you know, I think... Okay, character select, return to entrance, yeah. I think rather than just wailing on the AI opponents the way that I've been getting wailed on in multiplayer, let's go ahead and do story mode. So, I'm trying to figure out how to get to... Okay, cool. This is what I'm looking for, the Persona 4 Arena story mode. But yeah, so that's kind of the goal, or what I'm hoping to work on with the Game Pass speed dating series. But I've been enjoying the process so far. Honestly, I don't know if I would have played this game if it weren't for trying to like cover the latest releases for games that got added to Game Pass. And I'm very glad I gave this game a shot. I've been enjoying it a lot more than I was expecting. And I feel like there's going to be a lot more games like that throughout the entire backlog of Game Pass that, you know, I just wouldn't really think twice about playing because I'd see it and be like, ah, that's not really my thing, and then just move on. But, you know, I'll go through it, see what happens, and, you know, hopefully some people stick along for the ride, stay with the series, and when people later on, like months down the road, people stumble across it, look at the previous episodes and see that's like pretty well covered, and you know, I don't feel like I have the level of quality to be like, yeah, I like this is good, like people are gonna be blown away by it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not like, this is stuff that's worth watching for like general audiences, like everyone's gonna like it. I definitely want to get more reps in, experience like doing the first impressions, trying out games, kind of giving my reviews on them, and over time just kind of like building up, getting more comfortable with things, talking on camera, and just kind of like finding my style. And then when people come in, it's like, oh, like, man, this guy's pretty good, and it's like he has so many videos already, and they're all like that similar level of quality. But, you know, I think I've rambled enough about YouTube aspirations, so we'll go ahead and focus on the story going on.
All of a sudden, here I am. I have no idea why.
I think your takes will be interesting. Yeah, thanks. I mean, I think any reviewer, you just kind of have to like see a few of the reviews to get a feel for like what's important to them. Because if you see like one review by someone, they might say a movie's really bad, and you're like, oh, I guess I don't want to watch it then. But then you might see that movie and really like it. But if you see like a review of a movie that you've already seen, then you can kind of get a feel for like, okay, they focus on characters that are complex, and I don't really need that in a movie. So, you know, whenever they mention that in movies moving forward, that's something that you can recognize and be like, oh, well, that's like a difference of opinion we have. So I think over time, I'm hoping that by default, my takes won't be like too disagreeable, but I think I'm definitely a bit more optimistic and forgiving of movies, especially, than the average person. So I think if they saw my reviews of movies and were like, oh, all of these are really good, and then they see them, it's like, okay, they're being a little bit too forgiving with this movie. But I think as they get more familiar with my takes and like my style of reviewing, they'll just pick up on that and then know what, be able to compare what I say to what their like wants are, and be able to figure out when I say one thing, does that necessarily mean that's works for them.
Interrupt your dramatic reunion, but excuse me.
What's that? It's that voice again.
Ah, the fiery.
So we got the robotic narrator again that I guess everyone who gets teleported here still has to deal with.
Who are you? Damn it, where is it coming from?
Given how weird this place is, do you think it's somebody's shadow?
Okay, you're really starting to piss me off. Stop talking about adolescence and start giving us answers.
Okie doke. Allow me to
Oh wait, one
explain the
moment.
rules of
Let me
the
hit
Keystone
start.
Scrambled
Okay,
Tournament,
message
which you
speed.
are now
Yeah, let's do
taking part
instant. And then text skip. Yeah, we don't want to skip anything right now. And then... Okay, I was kind of hoping there would be a setting that makes it to where when the audio like ends for that message, it automatically goes to the next one like it does in Persona 4 Golden. But for now, I'll just have to pay attention and press A when it gets to that point.
The rules are simple. All you need to do is take the keystone given to you and
Well, if I hit
roll.
select, is it going to do something like that? Okay, select doesn't do anything.
Something about this just feels wrong.
Okay, if I hold X, it hides the
But
message.
If your item is taken away from you, you'll
Oh.
be disqualified. Which will result
Oh,
in
okay.
being stuck in this world for
So I hit
eternity.
Y and set it to auto, so...
Wait.
Seems like there's a little bit of a delay between the audio ending and then the message, like, advancing, but it saves me time, so I'm gonna go ahead and
Hey!
let it just do auto and
Where is this goal?
pick up the controller when I'm ready to battle.
But if you do get disqualified, painful and embarrassing repercussions, or should I say punishments, await. Those should be fun.
I think her idea of fun is a little bit different than ours, but I mean, I was enjoying playing online and I was getting punished pretty badly there, so maybe she's not so off.
Distributed to the leader of each team. The leader must rely on their buddies to keep it safe and beat up any pests blocking their way.
So each team has a keystone.
You know, when you stay so calm at times like these, it really makes me look stupid. Whoa, more importantly, what are you holding?
I didn't realize I was holding anything, but this must be a keystone.
You are correct. That is the keystone you must protect. Now, Team Yellow, tell me, how excited are you?
Slow down. What exactly is this stone? And why teams? You said everyone earlier. Does that mean Yosuke and I aren't the only ones here?
I spy with my little eye an enemy. Your foe's looking to take your keystone.
I feel like Yu Narukami is surprisingly, like, intuitive of his detective skills picking up on things.
It's like she's not listening to a word we're saying. And man, she's been saying a lot of disturbing stuff. Huh? Hold on. This has got to be the guy she was talking about. The enemy.
I know what we're talking about. He seems like a good guy. When you see a guy with blood covering his hands up to his elbows, or almost up to the shoulder, I'm like, that's a guy I can trust.
Why?
In a crisis situation, I'm going to him for help.
Do you two ever stop yapping? Seems like you need me to rip your tongues out.
How do I even answer that? Hey, Narukami, what did we do?
Look, I'm sorry if we offended you, but we really don't want to fight. We just want to know what's going on here.
It's a little bit surprising, or like, it feels a little weird to hear Yu Narukami being voiced, because, you know, in Persona 4 Golden, it's like, oh,
Not looking good.
I'm Yu Narukami, so it's my voice.
Or
But I will say, it's not, like, I feel like some games, like reading Spy Family, I was like reading it and I was like, oh, alright, this is pretty cool. And then hearing some, like, the voice of Lloyd Forger, I was kind of like, oh, he sounds a little bit different than I expected, than like it sounds in my head. But I feel like Yu Narukami is actually like a bit stoic and like, you know, I don't want to say monotone because that's like not necessarily a compliment, but just like the controlled voice, more that like similar to what I imagined. So I'm like, okay, this like matches up pretty well.
not hurt him. We'll just have to take it easy.
Take it easy, you say? Aren't you precious? I can't wait to carve up that uppity face of yours. You hear that? These two are mine. Don't you dare get in my way.
Alright, I feel like a battle is about to come on, so I'm picking up my controller.
Bite, Carmine Prime. Don't need to be so greedy.
Says the greedy harvester. Don't be a hypocrite.
Okay, now we have two nut jobs to deal with. Do we still have to take it easy? I mean, they are after that thing you're holding, right?
So, which one?
Alright, maybe I was a little too ambitious. I'm setting the controller back down until the conversation escalates again.
These punks are all mine.
Tag team entries approved. With that, we can enter battle mode. Best of luck to both
Alright,
teams.
sounds like it's starting soon. I'm not picking up the controller quite yet. You mentioned chat got earlier and you've inspired me to try it. Pretty fascinating.
Hell?
Oh, yeah, ChatGPT. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I heard about it coming out, and I was like, oh, that sounds like it's a bit too early. Like, there's not really a lot of use for the average person yet. But I tried it out, and I was like, oh, it is, like, surprisingly interesting. Like, I've heard it's really good for programming to say, like, hey, write me, like, a function that does this, because it, like, is a computer, so it's, like, already set to try it out, to, like, solve problems like that. But I think even if you have, like, general ideas or questions, like, if you want, like, there's definitely a lot of resources online to be like, hey, I want to do this thing, and then you can find a guide for it. But with ChatGPT, it just feels more personal, or, like, specific, that rather than, like, finding a guide on, like, how to write a book, and then being like, okay, so now I kind of know that, and I can apply it to what I'm trying to do, you can say, like, hey, tell me how to write, like, a horror book based on, that takes place in the 1950s in a nursing home, and then get, like, very specific feedback. And, well, I wouldn't say feedback, because you have to, like, tell it what your book is, and then, in order to get feedback, but you just get, like, more custom-tailored, like, suggestions than you would just trying to, like, Google things.
Right! Later, guys! Damn it! Get back here, you bastards!
Alright, so we won the first fight we got into pretty decidedly, so.
Whew. We managed to get away, but that was too close. Are we seriously going to have guys like that coming after us all the time?
I don't know. But if what that voice was saying earlier is true, our troubles are far from over. Let's just try to avoid combat as much as possible from now on.
Yeah, if we fight everyone we run into, we're not gonna last long. Where's this goal supposed to be anyway?
Not a clue. If only Teddy were here to shed some light on this for us.
Well, it sounds like this goal is some kind of exit. One way or another, we've gotta find it.
Agreed. Let's just keep moving forward.
I'm always up for a wander. Lead on, buddy.
Alright, so I think we're on to chapter 2 now. Yep.
You don't think those guys from earlier
So I'll go ahead and
chasing
play through chapter 2, and then I think we'll wrap up the stream at that point.
Shadows, right?
No, they didn't even seem like Persona users. Their fighting style was completely different from ours.
But speaking more on ChatGPT, I will say it is pretty impressive that you can, like, ask it to, like, write a song, and then it'll just, like, generate the full lyrics and everything.
Hell if I know.
But I feel like
By choice either.
I've used it, or I've tried to use it to be like, hey, like, write me a description for my YouTube video that's like, this is what it's about. Or if it's like, hey, like, I want to make a YouTube channel, like, this is kind of my experience, and, like, it'll give you some ideas. And I feel like it's not great at, like, making a final product that's like, you can just copy paste that. But I think it's really good for getting just, like, kind of, like, more content to reference, or, like, to give you an idea. Because if you tell it to, like, I've asked it and say, like, hey, can you write an episode, or write a description for Persona 4 Golden real-time playthrough, like, day 7. And it's surprising because I actually say stuff that's, like, specific to day 7 or Persona 4 Golden, rather than just, like, a generic, like, oh, playing through Persona 4 Golden, and on day 7, we're continuing on. It'll say stuff that, like, actually happens in the plot of day 7. But the way it generates it, like, it's not gonna know my voice the way I write. So it does, like, it'll give you, like, a whole paragraph, though, of, like, a whole description of it. And it's not, like, none of it's really, like, yeah, this is the way I talk, that I can just copy-paste it. But it's, like, seeing it go into so much detail, that I'm like, oh, yeah, I could talk about that. And so it just kind of gives you more, like, more content to bounce, like, I guess it's kind of like if you're talking with someone, and you're like, hey, I want to do this. Can you give me an example of that? And they give you, like, a full example. It's like, all right, yeah, that's a pretty good example. And it just kind of makes it to where it's like, oh, yeah. I feel like it just kind of makes me more confident in, like, doing it, rather than just being like, man, I don't know what to write. Like, hey, this is day 7, Persona 4 Golden playing in real time. Like, that's it. And then you see, like, go into a big long description of it. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, like, yeah, I can kind of do something similar than that. Similar to that.
okay, something is
What site do I use or app? I use the like OpenAI website, so I think it's chat.openai.com. You do have to make a, you have to like sign in and make an account. You can do it for free though. It's not like you have to drop money to be able to get anything from ChatGPT, but you do have to like make an account just to start making queries and getting responses.
No good if they got all cold and hard. Besides, if I find Yukiko, I can share them with her.
Yeah, okay. Guess you're not really the type to curl up and cry in the face of the unknown anyway.
Wait a minute. How do I know you guys are even real? What if you're shadows?
Oh, boy, hey, are you nuts? My arm's not supposed to bend that way.
So you really are human. Huh. Then that would mean you're the real Narukami-kun.
Yeah.
So good to see you again.
To be honest, I was a little hesitant because it's like, oh, Persona 4 Golden characters in a fighting game. I was like, that sounds cool, but I don't know who's writing it, if it's going to be like true to the characters. But I mean, the writing, I'm like, yeah, that definitely sounds like Chie, so
Good, Narukami-kun.
I feel like it's pretty true to the
Is this
characters.
really the best place to hold a big reunion? Ow, my arm hurts.
So what even is this place? I heard a weird voice earlier talking about keystones and punishment and stuff.
You heard it too, huh? We're not sure yet either. But apparently, we can't escape if we don't keep this thing safe.
And to make matters worse, we'll have to suffer some sort of embarrassing punishment too.
For real? Are you telling me that if we lose that rock, we're locked up in here forever?
Don't even say that. Narukami and I are searching for an exit, so that won't happen.
So basically, we've just got to find the goal while keeping that thing safe. That shouldn't be so bad. But wait, we still don't know where Yukiko is.
Oh.
Did you two
I thought she
see her?
suddenly appeared. I was like, wow, we're getting the gang together pretty quickly. And it's like,
Sure Amagi's
no,
in
just
here?
a memory of her. I'm like,
Well,
all right.
just sort
I guess it
of
couldn't be
know,
that
I
easy.
think.
What makes you so sure?
Woman's intuition, maybe?
Sounds more like animal instinct.
That's rude. Besides, we were hanging out just before I got whisked away to wherever this is, so it wouldn't be too surprising if she came here
Actually,
with
since,
me.
let me see if I can update the title real
Anyway,
fast.
Let's get going.
For the
We don't want
stream,
Yukiko to
let
get
me-
scared on her own.
Let's see. Okay. I'm just going to update the title of the stream real fast because we're no longer going for more than 2 wins since we're not playing online anymore. I'm going to say playing through Persona 4 Arena storyline. And then done. All right, let's continue.
Wait, suck it
Carry
up.
on.
This world's kind of weird, so don't just run off and... Fine, don't listen to me. Huh? Ah!
What?
I didn't know this game had Red Hulk.
It's huge! What the hell is it?
Is it human?
Jeez, guys, he's not that weird. You're being kind
All right, we got Squirrel Girl, so we got a whole Marvel crossover going on.
Naruto-kun so into?
Well, whatever they are, they're not normal. Wait, do you think Kirijo-san could be involved with this somehow?
I don't think so. Her robots are pretty different.
You've got a point. They don't seem like shadows, but they're definitely not ordinary humans either.
Yeah, they look like they leaked out for Marvel vs. Capcom, but only the Marvel side.
You're not half bad. Neither are you.
Damn, who are these people? Satonaka included.
Yeah, this is very true to character. Kie would definitely get teleported to another world and immediately hit it off with the woman dressed as a squirrel.
Whoa, it spoke!
Another world?
Are you familiar with the Keystones?
Oh, did you see the way they reacted? Looks like we've got ourselves a bingo.
Forgive me, but you'll have to hand that over to us. Don't worry, we don't intend on using it for evil.
Using it? Hold on. Do we need to use this somehow in order to get to the goal?
Goal? I believe we may have been given conflicting information.
The voice told us that we need to take this thing to the goal, and that if it was taken from us, we couldn't go home. Are you trying to escape this world too?
Yes. Like you, we came from another world.
Another world. Yeah, I had a feeling you guys might not be from around here.
That's right. First time I've ever been in a place like this. And we just kind
Yeah, guessing from the color under the names, they're both from the BlazBlue series. But to me, I won't be able to tell you that just by seeing them.
Us then.
No, this is the first BlazBlue game I've played, but, you know, it's been pretty good so far.
We've got no idea why we're here, what this keystone is, where the goal is. We're basically completely stuck.
Unfortunately.
And man, I gotta say, I mean, props to them for like fully voice acting all of the dialogue in this game. Persona 4 Golden didn't do it, and I totally understand why they wouldn't. That game's like 40 hours of visual novel. And this game, I mean, like, it's more visual novel than I was expecting, and I definitely would not have been like, oh yeah, this is gonna have full voice acting for the whole thing. But I'm glad that they did.
A penalty? Like some kind of punishment?
Also, we don't have a lot of time. Honestly, I feel like even talking to you might leave us stuck here forever.
Makoto.
Oh, my bad. That was another rule.
So there's a time limit. That's bad news.
We've already said too much. We cannot afford to take any more risks. Capturing targets to minimize uncertainties. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we'll have to resort to force.
Honestly, I don't really care. But if the big guy says so...
Damn it.
Right, and the original VAs too? Okay, yeah. I was like, it definitely sounds like Yosuke, but I was like, I don't want to be too optimistic and be like, oh, they got the original voice actor, but, you know, I also wouldn't have expected them to have all of the dialogue voice acted, so, you know, I feel like I came in with, like, tampered expectations of just, like, what's realistic to expect from a fighting game story mode, and they've just kind of been, like, delivering on a lot more than I would have expected. Well, I'm not certain, but it does sound like them. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would have hoped that they would have it, but, you know,
I'm not in this one.
I'm not like, oh, I know the voice of Yosuke. No one could replicate that. So I'm like, I'm not doubting them. I'm not like, oh, they didn't get the original voice actor, but I think I want to kind of just tamper my expectations so that I can be impressed rather than like assuming that it's like, oh, they did a really good job or like did the thing I would want them to, and then finding out and being like, oh, I was a little bit overly optimistic. But either way, I mean, I think it is the original voice actor, but if it's not, it still sounds pretty good. Like, it sounds similar to the actual character, so no complaints. Okay, I feel like I wouldn't have survived, like, they shouldn't have survived that, and then it was only like 15% of my health. I'm like, okay. Alright. So that wraps up the fight pretty quickly. So we'll continue going through the visual novel section until it gets to chapter 3, and then I'll go ahead and wrap it up. You know, oh, okay, I think that's the end of chapter, okay. Chapter 2's still going. So yeah, I mean, usually I'm like, okay, gotta wrap up the stream, give you my first impressions, but I already did that last night, so I'm like, oh, I can actually just kind of like do my standard outro. I mean, if it's not already pretty clear, I've been enjoying this game, I would recommend it. The combat, I'm having fun with it, even though I still don't really know what I'm doing. So there's definitely a lot of complexity to it, and time you can invest into it if you want to. But even just going into it blind, not even know what you're doing, just smashing buttons, is like, yeah, this is a lot more fun than I would expect it to be.
Oh, give me a break. We couldn't move on without beating those guys anyway, right?
Right. It seems that once a battle begins, nobody's allowed to move on until the other team is defeated. It must be one of the rules this world is bound by, to borrow the big guy's term.
Then this definitely isn't the Midnight Channel. One thing's for sure, though. Whoever set this all up is bad news.
Those guys we fought were really incredible, though.
Yeah, it's been a bit unintentional, but I've been playing quite a few games that have like visual novel components between Persona every day and this game. And part of me is tempted to play through straight up visual novels on stream, But I don't know how exciting that's going to be for viewers, and I don't know how long you can listen to me reading out dialogue, doing my best at, like, slight voice acting, rather than just, like, every character sounding like me. But, you know, I've got plenty of other games to go, so I'm not running out of options necessarily. But there's definitely quite a few visual novels that I'm like, oh, that one sounds fun, like, that sounds cool, I want to check it out, but I'm not like, yeah, I got 80 hours I can invest into this game.
Like Teddy in the TV world? Or like giant robot men and squirrel people?
I'm still not sure if he was a robot or not.
But anyway, we actually met these people, and we actually managed to communicate with them. Even if Satonaka and that Makoto girl weren't exactly speaking in any sort of human language.
Masters have no need for words.
Whatever you say. Anyway, the first two guys that Narukami and I encountered seemed to know each other. Maybe everyone we'll run into here is just trying to get back to wherever they came from.
You might be right. And since this stone is their key to escaping, they want to get it from us, whatever it takes.
But didn't it
No
seem
pun,
like
but you have
Taylor
great
and Makoto
streaming
had a
persona.
different
Oh,
objective than we did?
alright.
Yeah,
Pretty clever,
they did mention
but also
that
much
it's
appreciated.
so this
Starting
is-
off, I realized I really have to put more effort into being like high energy, because just the way I naturally talk is a bit more monotone and like low energy than
I agree,
what
but there's no guarantee that we'll even make
compared
it.
next to like Markiplier or like Jacksepticeye, like the big streamers. It's like, yeah, I have like no energy compared to them. Even though I'm enjoying playing it and stuff like that, I just don't really express that through like my tone and everything naturally. So, you know, I've been working on that. I think I'm making progress, but
I believe you.
you know,
but I don't
just
think
want to
we
make
can
sure
get
that
around here.
the excitement I'm having and like, oh, this is a fun game isn't just coming off as a monotone voice reading through dialogue. So reading through a visual novel game would be good too. Alright, well, maybe I'll give it a shot, see what happens. Okay, well, we're on chapter 3, so I'm going to go ahead and exit out, wrap up the stream. But yeah, I mean, I might try giving visual novels a try. The thing is, YouTube, you kind of have to like, you can't just do something like one attempt and then get momentum with it and it takes off. You really have to keep doing it and then kind of like, I've heard from people like on the Trash Taste podcast that if they want to do a new idea, the audience is generally like kind of against that at the beginning because it's like, no, we want you to keep doing the thing that we know you for. So you kind of have to just keep doing it long enough and then people will catch on, like be like, all right, this is happening and like go with it. So, I mean, even the Persona 4 Golden real-time playthrough, it wasn't like day one, it was like taking off. It was actually day 7 that suddenly I had like 17 subscribers that when I went to bed the night before, and the next morning I had like 87, and then over the next 24 hours gained like, I think it was a total of like 247 subscribers or something like that. And so between day 1 to day 6, it was like maybe 5 subscribers, and then in the next day like 247. So if I gave up after episode 3 or 4, definitely won't be where I am now. And even though it's like definitely like, you know, there's that big spike, there's no way that that could be sustainable. So it's definitely like slowed down, balanced out a bit more. But, you know, I'm going to keep going anyway. I want to finish this series, even if just to be able to say like, hey, I did it, and make sure that anyone who's been subscribed to me or looks into my content in the future sees that like I really deliver on what I'm trying to do. It's not like I was like, hey, I'm going to do full playthrough, real time of Persona 4 Golden, got a lot of subscribers from it, and then dropped off like a month in. Like I carried it to the end, and that's the type of like mentality I want with any type of content I make. I mean, some of it's like, I'm going to try this out, but I'm not committing to it. And you're like, hey, I'm going to do this for like, there's going to be 100 episodes of this. It's like, hey, I'm trying this out. We'll see what happens with it. But, you know, if I'm like, hey, this is serious, I want to do this, this is my goal, I want to make sure that I deliver on that. I found you through a tweet since I follow a bunch of Persona content. Someone advertised you were doing it? Oh. Would you mind, I didn't know that it had been tweeted. Would you mind sending me like the content creator or that tweet just to kind of see what, like where it came from? Because I noticed that like the subscribers I was getting when I looked through the like YouTube Studio has like tons of analytics, is saying that it was coming from like, I can't remember the phrasing of it, but the impression I got was basically like third-party content or like links that wasn't through YouTube itself. So I was kind of like, man, I don't know how everyone heard about this, but I think if it was like day 7, which would be April 18th, if they tweeted it on the 18th, then I feel like that's definitely the reason my subscribers, like, man, I don't even know, like, I would say tripled or like quadrupled, but it was like over 10 times what it was the day before. So I don't even know like what the multiplier, like the term for it would be for like that high of a number. But yeah, I mean, either way, much appreciated to whoever did it, and thank you to everyone that clicked the link, subscribed to me, and has been following along on this journey. Because, starting off, I was like, hopefully we'll get more subscribers. We'll see where it goes. And this is definitely a lot more subscribers and views this far in than I was expecting it to be. So I really appreciate all of the success that has been happening so far. I'm definitely not like resting on my laurels. It's like I'm going to keep going, trying to come up with new series ideas to kind of get even more attention, a wider audience, just to kind of be able to entertain more people than I currently am. But either way, I'm still like at times like blown away by the progress we've made so far. Yeah, I think I follow you. I can tag you in it if I find it. Yeah, that'd be great. I would love to see it. Definitely give a shout out to the person who tweeted it on my behalf. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream, playing more BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. If it's not clear already, this game's pretty great. I'm enjoying the combat a lot. The story, while I don't feel like that's the thing that's really going to like make people, that's not the main attraction that gets people to come in and play the game. I think it's more than serviceable. It's not just like, oh, it gets you from point A to B, it gets you between the fights in the story mode. I think they really have the characters act the way they would, like true to their character, more than I would expect like a crossover fighting game to have. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll be around. I'll definitely see you next time if you're following my Persona 4 Golden real-time playthrough. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Take it easy.